Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all the many things that you can do to support me, the channel, and the videos. I do appreciate it. Happy Veterans Day to those of you who are military personnel or veterans. Totally appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Respect you very highly. My own father is an Air Force veteran, Vietnam. And my ex-husband, my children's father, is an Army veteran, Desert Storm. So I was an Army wife, and I definitely feel for you guys and love and appreciate you. Let's get into the reading. I don't know what that was. I apologize. That was strange. It's 5:45 a.m. I'm not even a little bit tired. I've been up since probably around 8 yesterday, 8 a.m. Sunday. And, you know, my readings are usually up. My weekly general and love reading is usually up by Sunday afternoon at the very latest. And actually now it is Monday at 5:45 a.m. And I'm just now recording, oh, excuse me, the love reading. And reason being, you know, first of all, I had a lot of healings to perform. I am not complaining. I'm very happy about it. Not because people patronize me, although that's wonderful too. I'm happy for the people who are getting these healings, who are, you know, going into the Mercury transit, the full moon in Taurus, the last 11/11 of the decade cleansed. So much so that I think I'm going to have a sale. So I haven't put any, because I don't like to just have a random sale. I like to communicate with the universe first. I go into meditation and, you know, ask what the price should be, all of that. So right now it's a thought. But what I will say is anybody who purchased their healing already this weekend, should I have a sale, I will send out refunds for the difference. That is my promise. That is my guarantee right now over the air. Anybody who purchased the healing over the weekend for the, you know, the 111 price, if I have a sale, whatever price I've made, I've typically made them like $88, $77 when I've had a sale. I will refund you the difference. And as always, my Patreon subscribers, members, at any level, you know, so even the people that just, well, I don't even want to say just, even the people that, you know, support me for $1, you know, they always get my discount too. And I tend to give them an additional like 10% more than I give everybody else. All right. So that said, those of you who saw the general reading, you know that I talked a lot about the scales being balanced out this week, about our good karma paying off, about people's negative or bad karma also paying off, and them, you know, getting what they deserve and us getting what we deserve. That's the way the universe goes. And I think that energy is coming up again because I'm skipping ahead past this, but with the romance angels, begin with unrequited love. I think for the most part, this is about imbalance. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going because something's just off, but that doesn't mean that the relationship cannot be salvaged. Of course, for some, this is probably very literal, and it's about a relationship that needs to come to an end, and that'll be happening too. But again, based on one's karma, right? You deserve love. You've been good. You're good to people. You put out positive energy. You're a loving person, a caring person. You deserve love. You are lovable. So this has an energy of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. And actually in that general reading, I specifically said that I felt Jupiter was about to balance the scales. Now, Jupiter doesn't even, you know, is not attached to the scales. Who's attached to the scales? Venus. which represents, or which this card represents, Major Arcana card 3, the Empress, represents the planet Venus and the signs that she rules, Libra, Taurus, well, the moon will be this week, and also, or this evening, rather. Also, Gemini, actually later this morning, I think it's 8:34 a.m. off the top of my head. I'm not prepared with the information, but I'm pretty sure that's the time. Venus, also the esoteric ruler of Gemini. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. And I also saw that too, because I was seeing karma coming back, but I said for some, it's going to be sort of like, there's some sort of action that we need to take. Like we've been sitting on our laurels, as they say, and we're finally moved to, get up and get out and do what we have to do to make stuff happen. And then it happens, because all it needs is that nudge. All the universe needs is for us to respond to what it's trying to do for us, and then it will proceed. Also, behind this, you deserve love, you are lovable, is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Followed by wedding, also upright. This situation involves marriage, and definitely saw the potential for wedding proposals and other proposals too in the general reading. Proposals of business ventures, proposals of friendship, proposals of commitment, or deepening of commitment, all the way up to, again, maybe proposal of marriage. This is appropriate too, from the Universal Love Oracle, beginning with an overall energy of soulmate. Definitely think a lot of that is happening. In fact, I'm going to talk about that when I do like a video special that I've been wanting to do on all the shifts and things that I saw in a vision about 2 months ago. I've been talking about this, all these dates and stuff for like 2-3 months, but I still haven't put anything together, and it will be done. I will get the information to you. Gateway, this is very much about the portal, right? This 1111 portal and shift. But there again are other shifts that are coming up, or that have preceded this one, and that are all part of this series of events leading up to and into 2020. That's going to be pretty amazing. So Gateway, you want to be prepared for that. That's another reason to get healing of different kinds, not just the kind that I do, but certainly the kind that I do. It's a good idea, to go in ready. And for those of you who are unaware of what kind of healing I do, because these things are my gifts and not just something I learned, went to school for. That's not to begrudge anybody who went to school for what they know, your Reiki certification or whatever it is. But what I do comes natural to me, and I was shown to do by my guides, by the universe, by God, not anybody else, So because of that, I kind of don't talk about it much. A lot of people have no idea what I do. And I have a page on Facebook for my most common healing. I do a lot of custom stuff too, but my most commonly ordered healing, which is Divine Light Cleanse, I have a page on Facebook for it. But because of how I am, I don't invite anyone to like the page, because I only want people who actually have a genuine interest of their own in the page to be the ones to like it, whether they've had this, means they've had the service, or they're interested in it, they read my website, whatever the case is, for whatever reason, they want to like the page. That's why I want them to like the page, not because I asked them to. And so some of you may have no idea what I do, but I'm putting it out there now. If you want to go to my website, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com, under energy healing, you can find descriptions about a lot of the stuff that I do that's advertised. Again, I also do a lot of custom work, so that's not there, obviously. And also on Facebook, Divine Light Cleanse, again, has its own page, and you can read testimonials and stuff there. Golden Path, for me, is very reminiscent of the Yellow Brick Road and the Wizard of Oz. And it begins with all these rainbows that I see like in these forests, because somewhere over the rainbow, that's where dreams come true. So this gives me a energy of the 9 of Cups, of Major Arcana card, the Star. Dreams coming true, wishes being granted, prayers being answered. But again, you having to put something in it yourself, you having to do some of the work. So we have to head down the golden path, which is like the yellow brick road. Why were they heading down the yellow brick road? To reach the Emerald City. We need to reach the Emerald Ray. That's the ray of healing. And so this is about walking down that path, always continuing down the path toward healing and never stopping. Because if we cease the desire to heal and grow and evolve, or we cease to actually do it, we kind of might as well not even not be here. You know, it kind of means like we've died. So that's one of my favorite cards. And from hashtag Creepy Deck, open relationship. I feel this has a lot to do with communication this week, actually. Like being open in that sense. Open communication and willing and committed, you know, dedicated listeners. Not talking over each other, not interrupting people when they're speaking, not just hearing or listening, but not hearing, like, you know, both listening and hearing. And when you're speaking, meaning what you say, saying what you mean, not beating around the bush, all of that stuff. Open, honest, effective communication. I think this is mostly about this week. But for me, it also, in general, tends to represent like living and or loving, you know, out loud and as you choose, you know, out in the open. So if you have a unique dynamic rather to your relationship, or you're in some sort of not what would be considered a non-traditional situation, or you know, something that society doesn't necessarily understand or is confused about or isn't as popular as some other ways of living, for me, that tends to be what this card represents. All right, so let's start with the dice. This week, we're starting with party. It's 50-50. This is always important in relationships. And week away. And I think it's 50-50 also connected to imbalance, right? Things need to be leveled out. It can't be like this. It can't be like this, because then you end up with imbalance. So we need it to be 50-50. Spirit still says party. Massage. And no. Think I'm going to do the spread from the perspective of the masculine with the animal tarot this week. So I'll put these away just for now. Divine Feminine. And this is single, coupled, separation, union. I put union in quotes because there's not one couple that's in union the way the universe plans in accordance with the prophecies and the scriptures. So, you know, it's union the way that we know it. You know, like, oh, we're together, we're dating, we're living, we're whatever. Even 3D married. And I have clients who are 3D married and consider each other, you know, twin flames, or to be in a divine union. And even they go into separation because they are not in union the way it's stipulated in the prophecies or the scriptures. All right, so divine feminine. The masculine is relates to the feminine. And the masculine is relates to himself and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, contribute, surrender. You can pick whatever word you choose to use toward the union. What energy he would have her put into and toward the union this week. What he himself is willing to. What the universe would have each to put into it, but they have to first affirm because we have free will. The universe wants to also help us with this, whatever this is, but we have to first affirm because we can, choose to let the universe help us or not, right? Choose to do what the universe would like us to do or not with that free will and the outcome. So again, overall energy of Major Arcana card 3, the Empress, which represents the planet Venus, ruler of the signs of Libra, Taurus, and Gemini, all about abundance, being and feeling particularly attractive, especially those who resonate as a feminine. Could be about pregnancy, and if you've been wanting to be pregnant and maybe having, not the success that you were looking for, a good week to work on it. Also, there could be something going on with one's mother, and that's not to sound negative. Somebody's mother could be particularly significant, or you as a mother, the fact that you're a parent may be significant this week. Divine Feminine, worry. Your worries and fears aren't real, though. They're fueled by focusing on the negative, which gives power to that of which you're afraid. Stop worrying, let go of fear, and everything will be okay. This can also be about a need for sleep and rest. I think it is about worry, though. I don't know. I guess for everybody will be different. Maybe you're worried about this. The Divine Masculine as it relates to the feminine. Major Arcana card 20, renewal, or judgment in the traditional tarot, which represents the planet Pluto in the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. On 11/11 today, there will be a transit with Mercury and the Sun, and that transit is trine Pluto. Mercury currently also located in Scorpio, which Pluto rules. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. So I'm sure the masculine means and feels that toward the feminine, and a need to and desire to let go of past issues and to forgive without, resentment on both sides. But in general, judgment can also be about second chances, second time around, so maybe trying a relationship again, reuniting. As it relates to relationships of any and all types, it's about like coming to a crossroad and needing to decide like, where do we go from here, if anywhere. And again, it is about abundance that is earned. So your karma paying off, and there are all forms of abundance. Love is one of them. With this overall energy again of the Empress as well, this can be about you finding love this week, or reuniting with a love this week, or deepening a commitment, forming a commitment, all of those things, all of the above. The masculine as it relates to himself, where his mind is at about as it relates to himself, is Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intuition. Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess, represents the sign of Gemini, as well as potentially water signs in the tarot. Maybe, again, specifically Scorpio, specifically Gemini because of Mercury, and specifically Scorpio because that's where Mercury is located. But of course, Pisces, Cancer also, and anybody who is embodying this energy this weekend, these traits or attributes. High Priestess is somebody who moves in silence. She carefully plans her next steps by first considering all the information she has available to her. It's her intuition, it's gut feelings, it's what's in her heart, it's her wisdom, it's her intellect. She's very smart. She looks at all of these things, her street smarts, her common sense, and then she decides what move she's going to make next. And she's probably not going to tell anybody what that is, because she doesn't want you to fuck it up, before she gets a chance to actually do it. Like when people are haters and stuff, and they find out your plans, they ruin it. She doesn't want to risk that. So she keeps things to herself. So that's the masculine this week. And the masculine as it relates to the union or connection between he and the feminine as a whole. Major Arcana card 13, release or death. It's time to release the past. Like I just said here, he wants her to let go of the past and to not hold any resentment and stuff. Yeah, he's doubling down on that. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. Either a renewed relationship together, or maybe again, you decide, where do we go from here, if anywhere? Maybe some people decide we don't go anywhere because unrequited love. And so we're moving on completely. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. What the masculine would have the feminine, again, what energy contribute to any connection or union between them? It is Major Arcana card, the Star. This is the one I was talking about before. Represents the planet Uranus, where Taurus is currently located. Or vice versa, Uranus is located in Taurus, rather. And of course, again, the moon will also be there. You are about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. Prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. Uranus represents, or rules rather, the sign of Aquarius. So an Aquarius could be particularly significant. A Scorpio could definitely be particularly significant with these two cards showing up for Scorpio. A Gemini could be particularly significant with the Empress and the High Priestess and the Nine of Winter. What the masculine, what energy the masculine is willing to give to the union this week, it is the Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. Well, this can be about you holding on too tightly to yourself and keeping, keep being extremely guarded, which is very Scorpio, by the way. People, Scorpios can shrink into themselves and not share anything. Just go under and ghost people for weeks at a time. And it doesn't even have to be romantic. I mean, even like just Scorpio platonic friends, same-sex platonic friends, they can do that too. It's just kind of their way. So there could be something like that happening. Also, people in general just maybe like, again, being particularly guarded. So sort of like holding themselves back too much from life. Their emotions. Or this can also be about giving too much of oneself as it relates to emotion. I like to describe the Four of Autumn. You know how when you have a job and it pays the bills. So like you get a check. That's the only thing you like about the job, is that you get a check. Pays the bills, that's why you're there. You don't like the job. It's not what you've dreamed of doing. You don't like the people. They don't like you. You don't like the commute. Like all of the above, you'd rather not be there. But it pays the bills. So there's relationships like that too, like even romantic relationships. Well, I'm not feeling it anymore. I love them. I'm not in love with them. They split the bills though, or they take the kids to school, or they take care of me. Whatever the case is, I don't like to be alone, whatever. Some people are just together for the sake of being together, but that's not fulfilling. And that's the kind of thing the Four of Autumn can represent as it relates to love. If it's not that, again, it's like giving too much of oneself or holding back too much. So in this placement of what the masculine is willing to do, it would be dependent upon which of those relationships. It's sitting here under the Death. So for some, again, there's some relationships that need to be let go of completely, and they're because unrequited love, and you just have to go. For others, we need to be trying anew, or perhaps like a new partner. We're single. We're coming out of that singlehood. We're getting with somebody new, or we're reconciling or reuniting, and so it's renewed, and we're like trying again, and we have to loosen up on ourselves and be open to exchanging love. So it depends what kind of scenario one is in. what the universe would have each or both do and even wants to help with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will. Yeah, celebrations, reuniting. Three of Summer can be about being social, getting out there, maybe meeting and or reuniting with someone while you're out. Sometimes friends can get you back together or introduce you to somebody if you're single, hook you up, as they say. Three of Summer for me can be purely about reunite. Like you don't have to necessarily be at a social event. This is just about, for some whatever reason, somewhere walking down the street, you bump into the person. Can be all of those things. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. But if you do have any of these events to attend, if you get invited to some sort of social event or gathering, do go. There could be love there waiting for you. Overall, the Prince of Autumn, trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. Prince of Autumn is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, in that order, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. This is about being methodical and practical. But the Prince of Autumn, or Knight of Pentacles, is the only knight in the tarot that they say is guaranteed to reach his goal. Always gets to where he needs to go. Always completes, the project. Definitely unlike the Knight of Swords. That he can go either way. He's like half cocked when he runs off and stuff like that. This one is extremely committed to completing what he set out to do. And he always does. And the outcome. Boom. Love. Queen of Summer. Compassionate, loving, giving, and psychic. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own actions while caring for others. The Queen of Summer, according with the tarot, actually is specifically a Scorpio. The Queen in the tarot tends to be the fixed sign of any given element, and the fixed sign of the element of water is Scorpio. But of course, this can also be a Cancer or Pisces or anyone likened to those traits or attributes. I am going to further say, though, this week, very good energy, strong energy for meetings and or reconciliations between Scorpio and Aquarius, or an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, again in that order, or Libra, Taurus again, or Gemini. Very, very strong possibilities for those signs specifically. From this perspective of, because that was from the perspective of the divine masculine's higher self, this one from the universe, just in general. Divine being or couple, recent past, near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself. What the masculine can do to help himself. What the universe would have each or both do, and even wants to help with, but requires us to first affirm because we have free will. And the outcome. Again, overall energy of open relationship. And whatever that means to you, I've given you what I feel it means this week. Divine being or couple, obstacles. Actually, in the general reading, I'd hope you'd watch the general reading, but the card that showed up in the placement most directly representing us and our energy this week was one that also translates to challenges and obstacles, blocks, recent past, Mature woman. All right. She could be mature because she recently had a birthday or went through some sort of evolution, spiritual growth, emotional growth, maturity. She matured. Near future. Gifts. Gifts. This could be, again, surprises. Could be at literal gifts. We could be exchanging gifts. Maybe it's coming up because of the holiday. That's in the near future. Hanukkah, Christmas, some other Kwanzaa, some other means of gift or reason for gift exchange, a birthday or something. Maybe belated gifts, right? She recently had a birthday. You didn't give her anything yet. You're going to. But gifts can also be representative of surprises and like good news and stuff for me too. Masculine higher self. Past life. This can also go either way. It could mean he's dealing with, something from a past life as in like a karmic experience, relationship, situation. Or, it could be about past life recognition. Like, I know you from a past life or from the past, in this lifetime. And Mercury retrograde tends to have a way of bringing back people from our past or bringing up experiences to be healed from our past. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Twin flame. Everybody wanting to avoid this energy. That's the block, right? It's like your own block. Everybody fearful of this energy. We think we want it, then we run from it. Like when you feel it getting too good, we all go slip into fear and panic. What the feminine can do to help herself with that. Free yourself of the fear and panic. That's what you can do to help yourself. And the feminine in the last spread was represented by the 9 of Winter or Swords, which is all about fear and panic and worry. So yeah, definitely free yourself from this. And this is more of that Aquarius energy. Aquarius is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism. The masculine can do to help himself is destiny. So it's like what's meant for you is going to be for you, and you should confidently proceed toward your destiny and face your fears. What the universe would have each or both of us do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm. Karma. Dealing with your karma. Completing that karma, resolving those issues. Also, the overlying theme in the general reading was, again, karma paying off one way or another. So if you have good karma, that pays off. You got bad karma, that pays off too. Karma comes to collect the debt this week. She rings your doorbell. Outcome. Past love, which again can go either way. This can be about reuniting with a past love. Or having some sort of karmic issue with an ex situation. The idea, though, is to be able to get to this. So I think for the most part, yeah, it's like resolving karmic debt this week. So we'll do one more spread that hopefully will give us an idea of how we're supposed to go about that and what's coming up for us to deal with. Let's see. And overall energy is unrequited love. Crowning the masculine this week. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this can mean many things for me. It can be like the ideologies and maybe even, again, religious upbringing that we had, the belief systems that we were raised with that, are sort of in the way, or how we live our life. They still govern how we live our life, whether, good or bad, that's the case. Also, sometimes religious factors can demonstrate for me the sanctity or sacredness of a connection, of a, union. Masculine surrounded by attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So this is about manifesting love toward himself, law of attraction, and in his subconscious, children. Your love life is being affected by your children. For some of them, this is because they're married and they were raised that it's not okay to get divorced. They're married, they have, or they have children. They may not be married, but some of them are actually married. 3D married, although they're not happy. That's why that 4 of Pentacles showed up in the last spread. That's why we have an overall energy of unrequited love, not happy, married, and or with children. Because of that, they feel it's not right to get divorced or to leave, and move on to another relationship where they would be happy. And so that's how they're being affected. For others who don't have children, this children placement in your subconscious is thought about starting something new, similar to the energy of the Empress, but it's just thought, you haven't gotten moving on it. There's no action in this regard yet. And maybe because of some belief system and or, again, religious ideal with which you were raised or that you otherwise believe in. Crowning the feminine. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. She's surrounded by trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And soulmate. Yet again, this is the second soulmate of tonight. Yes, this is your soulmate. So that person you've been feeling this way about, who is he? Why is or who is she? Why do we have this connection? Why do I feel this way? If they don't want to be with me, why did they get me started? And if they do, why are things going this way? Because we saw in the last spread that people were avoiding the twin flame connection, right? There was fear. At least that's what I picked up. So I'm thinking that may be why the feminine even has a question as to whether or not this is her soulmate. Because it's well, if it's my soulmate, why are we not together? Why do they have me so confused? Because they're afraid to. And then you guys mirror one another. Crowning. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, like the masculine would like to do, you experience more love in your present moments. At the root, foundation. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So, where it is about reuniting or renewing a commitment, the way that we need to approach the situation in order to sort of get back to talking and stuff is to not be too heavy, to not bring, the misery and pain and aggravation from the past, the negative emotions, resentment, regret, inability to forgive, pride, ego, leave all of that stuff behind. And we try to start from a lighthearted place, an honest and even childlike temperament. At the heart of the matter, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And it's, it's funny. It sits here in between those two things. Attraction, which is the law of attraction, positive thinking, and faith. This one is called trust. That's the faith, is what's going to bring you romance. That's what sits here at the heart. I guess I want to put the advice here. I was thinking about clarifying something for a second, but I changed my mind. Further advice to the masculine this week. Queen of Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You will be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. Like even where there is a need for, separation or parting of ways. We can do this amicably, cordially, without the resentment, without the negative emotions, is what this says. The Queen of Autumn is a Taurus, where the moon will be, a Virgo, ruled by Mercury, or a Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. For the feminine, the Ace of Winter, implementation of your brilliant new idea. May get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. Ace of Winter, or Ace of Swords, is a card of victory. It also signifies, the reason it signifies victory is because it's like you've made it, even after the challenge, despite the challenges, despite the blocks, the obstacles, the difficulties, you have made it. So you've won. That's the victory. And it's a fresh start on the heels of challenges. So like the 10 of Winter or 10 of Swords is the card that comes immediately prior to this one. And that one is about toxic relationships, addictions, right? Codependency, other challenges, actually betrayal and being stabbed in the back, according to the Rider-Waite Tarot. And then this comes afterwards to say, okay, will you rise again now? All right, and you've conquered all that. You've made it despite that. From the hashtag creepy deck, Beauty Queen. So this card is all about Venus. Again, Venus, ruler of the sign of Taurus. This is her energy. Confident, beautiful, attractive this week. And masculine, you may be feeling that maybe you're not so pretty. You're not so attractive. Confidence low as a result, as if you don't deserve kindness, love, partnership. Venus shows up to tell you that is incorrect. And, that you definitely deserve all the abundance that she has to offer you. And that's plenty, because she is the ruler. She is the planet and the goddess of abundance, of love, and of money. And she has some for you. All you need to do is exude the confidence that she's bestowed upon you and have some belief in yourself. To the feminine, mature man. Interesting. Mature man is kind of emperor-like for me. Often an Aries or a Scorpio. That mature type could be a mature sign, of one of which Scorpio is. Like where either the kids, at least like my daughter, she's a Scorpio. She just turned 18. But sometimes it's like, which one of us is the mother? Or, she's like the mother. So it could be something like that. Or again, a father, a married man, a widower, that maybe, yes, the wife has passed on or husband has passed on, but they still have the energetic cords of attachment to this person. So they're like holding on to ghosts. And this full moon in particular, because a lot of stuff, heavy stuff going on this week, but in particular, the full moon is going to be asking us to like let go of the ghosts and let things come to a natural end. But this is a father, a married man with children, a widower, a divorcee, an authority, a boss, somebody who is particularly maybe desirable because they have their stuff together, but could be representative for those who are in that battle of you're remaining together because of the kids or something. He could be representative of that person in your life too. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, retreat. This couldn't be more like Uranus and Taurus, seriously. This is Earth. This is Aquarius, which is again ruled by Uranus. And it's all about manifestation, focused intention. Yes, you can get in a prayer pose like this and sit Indian style, as they say, but you don't have to. There's many, many ways to meditate and or to focus on an intention. You can do it from, stop where you are, where you stand, and think, focus on positive thoughts. Envision yourself being successful, succeeding at something, manifesting something you've been trying to manifest, that you are picturing yourself already having it. Or you can do this. You can sit like this, or you can do some yoga, many, many ways. But this is about, again, manifestation and needing to sometimes break away from the crowd in order to go do it if we have to. Maybe even spend some time with Mother Nature. From the romance angels, this is the masculine's card. To the feminine from the Universal Love Oracle, it is more of this Aquarius energy as well as water. And another High Priestess-like card with the combination Star and High Priestess coming together. So definitely about paying attention to intuition, synchronicities, signs from the universe, intuition, guidance from the universe. But also it is about prayers being answered, again, wishes being granted, dreams coming true, an effective communication, and online dating, and often that communication being by, text or email, FaceTime, Skype, those sort of things when the mystic shows up. From the romance angels to the masculine, release your ex, told you. Married or a father, can't let go of the children's mother. Even if you have let her go emotionally, and as far as love is concerned, worried about how it looks to the rest of the world, society, because of religious factors and or energetic ethereal cords remaining between you and or negative emotions which hold us back. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Now that's the literal meaning. This card also for me is about living and or loving how you want. And I tell the story sometimes about, Saint Andrew, who was put to death on a crucifix, or he was to be put to death on a crucifix. And he said, I don't want to die like Jesus. I don't have the right to die like Jesus. I'm no Jesus. Don't put me on a cross, right? Put me on an X. So in doing that, he both lived and died, by his choosing, by his say. And so it's kind of like the open relationship card, right? Living and loving how you choose. He lived and died how he chose. This is about, doing what we want. Again, not worrying about what society says to do, or what the neighbor's going to say, what mom and them said. Who cares? I'm doing what I want. Also, as it relates to communication, that effective communication I keep feeling and talking about. It's like release your expression, express yourself, say what you have to say, and, say what you mean what you say. Get whatever you need to get off your chest. And lastly, for the feminine, past life relationship. You have known each other before. And again, this relates to both soulmates that we may be going all the way with, and to soulmates with whom we're at the end of the road. So it all depends upon how the cards relate to you and play out in your life. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe there's somebody that, that you need to release energetically, and then there's somebody you need to welcome. In either case, I hope that you have enjoyed the reading, that you find it helpful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that. If you'd like a private reading from me or energy healing or merchandise, anything that I offer, the information will be in the description box, as will my social media. So you can be my friend and we can chat and all that kind of stuff too. And I will be back with the moon reading and the special that I plan to do. Again, as far as energy healing, I really think I'm going to do a sale. But whether I do a sale or not, if you've been wanting energy healing from me, it's a great time to do it. The regular price is $111. But if I do a sale, it will be announced publicly and I will give you the difference back. All right. I will issue you a refund, and that I'm announcing publicly right here, right now. Thanks again. Namaste.